Hello, welcome back to The Road to Episode 7, my ongoing series where I chart the road to the release of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens on December 16th, 17th and 18th of December 2015, depending where you are in the world. And today I'm going to talk about, or in this video, which will be probably posted the same day as the last installment, which was 68 I believe, I'm going to be talking about some Episode 8 stuff, and I was toying about maybe doing a Road to Episode 8 series and starting it now, but I think I'll wait until the whole stuff has died down from The Force Awakens first. So anyway, Episode 8 has begun filming. Principal photography has, well, not principal photography, I shouldn't say that. Initial pre-principal photography, I think, is probably the best way to describe it, has started in Ireland a couple of weeks ago. Rian Johnson was spotted, the director of Episode 8, who is one of my favourite directors right now, current working directors. He's made some great films like Brick, Looper, and he directed some of the best, including the best Breaking Bad episode, which was Ozymandias, the second to last episode of Breaking Bad. He's a fantastic director, and I can't wait to see what he does with Episode 8. I'm just a big fan of him in general, and yeah, really excited about Episode 8 with Rian Johnson at the helm. And he was spotted in Ireland, at Skellig Michael, where they filmed stuff for Episode 7, and again it was kind of and ahed, like, oh, you know, is it going to be Episode 7, you know, reshoots? Is it going to be starting filming Episode 8? If you remember back at, I think, Comic-Con, I was kind of going, oh, Mark Hamill's got a beard again, maybe they're starting Episode 8 soon. And it turns out I was right. I was actually right about that. I wasn't really jumping the gun. That is kind of what was going down. But Beardgate continues. We know that Hamill didn't like growing the beard. You know, he did it for the film, Episode 7, but he shaved it off as soon as he was done, and he said that he didn't like having the beard, but he grew it back, so obviously he had to do more filming. But was it for Episode 8 or Episode 7? Because when Mark Hamill was spotted in Ireland, around the week, I think it was, I forget when it was now, it was in the middle of September, when they were shooting in Ireland, at this island in Skellig Michael. When Mark Hamill was spotted, he was kind of taking pictures with fans at a bar in Ireland, and he was clean shaven. So did he maybe film a scene with a beard and then shave it off, or what's going on? And no one really seems to know. Well, of course they don't seem to know, because we're not being given all the info about what's going on in Episode 8 or what's going to happen in 7. So obviously we don't know the details. But yeah, the plot thickens and his beard disappears. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm pretty sure Daisy Ridley was spotted also. And so that kind of lends a lot of credibility to a long-standing rumour that she may be the offspring of Skywalker, and we'll see how that pans out. I'm going to talk about that more in a future video because I have a lot to say about it. So yeah, I'm trying to keep these down. The last video was 15 minutes, so it's far too long for me. I think I want to try and keep these videos down, which doesn't help, me filling these videos up with me saying I'm trying to keep these videos short. I should just get on with it. Right, so Episode 8 has started filming. We know that Benicio del Toro is going to be in the film. They're trying to cast new female leads. Additional female leads. I'm sure that Daisy Ridley will be a big part of the film. I don't know anything about the actresses who have been kind of pegged and shortlisted for Episode 8, so I'm not really going to comment on them right now. I've talked about that before as well. Someone commented that they knew something about one of the actresses and they thought that she was very good, so that's cool, I guess. And yeah, so Episode 8 has started, and there's been a rumour. There's been a rumour that Hayden Christensen could be coming back for Episode 8 to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker in, I don't know, a flashback or as a Force ghost, because as we now know, it is canon that Hayden Christensen is in Return of the Jedi at the end as the Force spirit of Anakin Skywalker after Darth Vader / Anakin dies at the end of Return of the Jedi, which is a load of bollocks in my opinion, into just that scene in general. As for Hayden Christensen appearing in Episode 8, I looked online and a lot of people were like, this is really cool, this will tie the 3 trilogies together, I can't wait, he's awesome. And I thought, wait, they're being sarcastic, right? But it seemed very genuine. And then there's another side of the internet that's just like, getting the pitchforks ready. Definitely a bad idea, and I'm sure this is a rumour that's been started by some kind of keyboard warrior who just wants to stir it up. I'm sure there is no real kind of standing in that room. I don't think there's much weight to it whatsoever. It doesn't hold any water for me. I don't think they're going to go back to the prequels. The only thing I could see it working is if they got Ewan McGregor to do something as Obi-Wan. That would kind of work, but I still wouldn't like to see it in Episode 7, 8 and 9. I'd be all for seeing Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan Kenobi in you know, in like a spin-off film. That would be great, and I think he did a fantastic job, by the way. In episode 2 and 3, he was awesome as Obi-Wan, but yeah, in the sequel trilogy, I think they should stay away from the prequel stuff, and definitely shouldn't see Hayden Christensen make a return to the role of Anakin Skywalker. I don't think it's needed, but then again, who knows? Who knows? Crazy things have happened, right? And I will say, and in his defense, I do think parts of his performances in episode 2 and 3 were great. I thought he really displayed the rage and the anger of Anakin really, really well. You know, I think there's some great parts of his performances, but obviously when you get to the lovey-dovey stuff, you know, like I hate sand. It's dry, it's rough, and it gets everywhere. And no, it's because how much I love you. Like, the worst. I mean, you just want to claw your eyeballs out when you see some of the stuff. And I think it's to do with the writing, you know, from George. But at the same time, yeah, I think, like, when he comes in after he's, like, slaughtered that family in episode 2, well, it's maybe a bit over the top. It's maybe hammed up a bit, but parts of his performance I did really like. And it's probably a reason why I don't hate the prequels like everyone else does. But anyway, yeah, Hayden Christensen in episode 8, I don't think so. And, yeah. Lots more to talk about, which will be in upcoming videos, like, well, I'll just talk about it now actually, very, very briefly. John Boyega, who's playing Finn in The Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy, has said that when he read the script, he cried. And he said that he never cries. He's one of those guys who kind of gets the, you know, frog caught in your throat, like a lump in your throat, you know, when you be emotionally moved by something. And I'm kind of the same. It's the lump in the throat and the... You know, that's the kind of way I kind of usually react emotionally to films and stories that are sad and things like that, or powerful. It takes a lot to make me cry, and he said reading the script made him cry. That's very interesting. And yeah, just generally he seems to be really enjoying all this. I've started following him on Instagram, and he's posting some fun videos and stuff. He just seems to be really embracing and enjoying, in a humble way, the Star Wars experience. There's a great clip on his Instagram where he's filmed this off on his phone, and he's like, okay, so, you know, the Star Wars Force Awakens merchandise is out, you know, go out and buy some stuff, but, you know, obviously don't go crazy and buy everything. And as he's turning around, you see this massive stack of stuff that he's got, and he's like, oh. Which I thought was really funny. Obviously, he can probably just get anything comped that he wants, just, you know, get it all sent over to his house, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm sure he's loving it. And I saw another video where he's like, I'm an action figure, you know. It must be very exciting for a guy like him, who, you know, you just see his humble beginnings in films like Attack the Block, and see, you know, how far he has come and will probably go from here on out is really cool. Anyway, on to the review. It's already been 8 minutes, so it's going to be longer than I wanted. But the review for this episode is the next adventure book. I suppose there's no real order to them. The Han and Chewie, the Leia and the Luke adventure books as part of the Journey to the Force Awakens series of books. I already reviewed Moving Target, a Princess Leia adventure in the last video if you want to check that out. But today I'm going to be talking about Smuggler's Run, which is written by Greg Rucka, who's a crazy mother. Yeah, and it's called Smuggler's Run, a Han Solo and Chewbacca adventure, I believe. I'll just call it Han and Chewie adventure. This one was great. You know, the Princess Leia one I ummed and ahed about, you know, it was enjoyable overall, but this one was brilliant. I read most of it on the plane coming back here to Norway. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Greg Rucka, he really got the kind of character of Han and Chewie down pat. Like, I really felt like I was reading a part of the movie, and that's something that... you know, some of the older... I always look to the left because there's a book hidden deep in one of those shelves that is from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. I always look over there, like, subconsciously. I've just realised it now. Anyway, yeah, whenever I used to read the old Star Wars books, you know, the post Return of the Jedi, I always loved how the writers really got the characters right. And you felt like you were reading, you know, a film that never got made. And that's kind of what I felt like with this. Not as much as the Expanded Universe stuff, like some of my favourites, like, you know, Darksaber and Children of the Jedi and the Young Jedi Knight series, but yeah, like stuff that Kevin J. Anderson would write in particular. But yeah, Greg Rucka really got it. He really got the characters down. I really felt that I was reading Han Solo and Chewbacca. Few little things that kind of very minor things that bugged me, like maybe there was a line in the book where it says that Chewbacca raised his eyebrow, and I just couldn't even picture that. You know, it just seemed like it was trying to add too much expression to Chewbacca. You know, and I guess I get that he's probably a difficult character to write for when you can't really express any dialogue from him. But that was a very, very minor thing. And basically, the story covers Han and Chewie the day after the celebration at the end of Star Wars. you know, Death Star has been destroyed, Han saved the day, but he's very much adamant that, you know, right, this is a one-time thing, I'm not a rebel, I'm not joining the Rebel Alliance, you know, we got to go and pay off, you know, Jabba the Hutt. And I love that you kind of see why Han and Chewie didn't go and just pay Jabba the Hutt off straight after they got their money from the end of the, you know, the Death Star mission at the end of Star Wars. You know, why did he wait and then end up getting tracked down in Empire Strikes Back? Because Leia kind of hooked him into doing another mission. There's a guy called Emat who was mentioned at the end of I think he's in the main part of the Princess Leia book, Moving Target, but he's also in the epilogue at, you know, the Force Awakens period of the book, which the Han Solo book has as well. This sounds very complicated, but these adventure books all have, I believe, a prologue and an epilogue that takes place around the era of the Force Awakens. And Emat is mentioned in the epilogue of the Leia book, and he is a main character in the Han Solo book during the time of, you know, in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So Han goes off on this mission to rescue this Emat character who's on a planet called Motok. And Emat is one of these informants, well, not informants, but I guess he has this information, and you know, when the Rebel Alliance is planning to move, you know, to Hoth or, you know, or Endor or Yavin for whatever, you know, he has all that information and they've got all backup plans. So if that one goes to shit, they go into that planet, they go into this side of the Outer Rim, whatever. He has all that information. He's one of the very few people who's trusted with everything. So he's a very important person in the Rebel Alliance, and he's kind of stranded. He needs to be rescued. So Han and Chewie go to this planet, and they're being chased kind of and tracked down by this woman called Commander Beck, who's this woman with short blonde hair. She's got a cybernetic eye and a big scar down her cheek, and she is an absolute ruthless, like, I love the way that he wrote this character, because she was just so unapologetically just an absolute bitch. You know, just enjoyed seeing people suffering, basically. You get to kind of read about her inner kind of thoughts about, you know, just hurting people and being brutal and stuff, and just being an absolute success at being an Imperial officer, and I love that. And you know, you get this great stuff on the planet of Motok, where Han goes to this this ship called, I forget what it's called now, I was just finishing the book about 10 minutes ago, something Fortune or something, but it's a ship basically that is it's a moving bar. So you kind of pay some credits, you go inside, and in the ship cargo bay is a big bar where they sell drinks and stuff, and you know, there's a woman called Delia there. And so I just love that kind of a ship that goes around, it's a bar and stuff, I love that. And the prologue was incredible. You have Han just in a bar, just sitting down, you know, and it's almost like what Ryan Chataway was saying to me. He's like, episode 7 just opened with Han Solo in a bar, and this is kind of how it opens. He's sat in a bar, and there's some guys behind him, some, like, you know, smugglers and stuff, and they're talking about, oh, this and that, and blah blah blah, and Han turns around and he's like, let me tell you about the Millennium Falcon, buy me a drink, I'll tell you all about it. And that's how the story starts, and at the end you get this kind of scuffle between him and some of the people there, and it's a nice little payoff to the main story as well. It doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't tie into anything to do with the Force Awakens. It just features Han as he is, you know, an older man around the time of episode 7. So yeah, I loved it from start to finish. It was brilliant. It was a fun adventure, lots of kind of humour, and I just love the characters, the way they were written and stuff like that, and the new characters were done well too. I guess Emat was a bit of a bland character, but we'll see if he is even in the film, or whether he'll just be more of a mainstay in the books. And kind of the Commander Beck story wasn't really tied up with, you know, as kind of tightly as I thought it would be, so there's room even there to do another book to follow on from that, which I'd really like to read. I thought she was a really memorable character, and I'd love to kind of read more about her, and maybe another kind of situation with Han and Chewie would be really cool. There you go, that's my review of Smuggler's Run. I highly recommend this one. I wouldn't really say about Moving Target, the Princess Leia book, go and read it, but this one I would say definitely go check out Smuggler's Run. Really enjoyed it, and next I'll move on to, I think it's Weapon of a Jedi. I might be making that up, but it's a Luke Skywalker book, so that'll be the next one I review hopefully. But it'll probably take me like I don't know, a few days to read it, so it won't be in the next video. Probably the video after that will be the Luke Skywalker book review. Oh, and I am boring myself just talking about all this stuff, so thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't know, Han Second.